Welcome to How to Be Dairy-Free, Simple Tips for Vegan Living, presented by Jessica Carter. Join us for the first ever National Afro-Vegan Conference taking place virtually on July 25th. Register for free today. The Dump Dairy Workshop series is made possible thanks to the support of our sponsors, A Well-Fed World, Better Food Foundation, and Veg Fund. Thank you. Afro-Vegan Society is helping disempowered communities take back control of their health and environments through vegan living. Become a supporter today and donate on our website. Hi, I'm Jessica and I am the Director of Programming at Afro-Vegan Society. I am also a vegan wellness educator and recipe developer committed to making plant-based living accessible, affordable, and delicious for everyone. So just to share a little bit of my background, I received my bachelor's degree in African American Studies in 2009. And then in 2011, I started incorporating more plant-based eating into my diet. And it was in 2016 that I went 100% vegan. And then I was able to complete my certificate in plant-based nutrition from the T. Colin Campbell Center for Nutrition Studies in 2019. So Afro-Vegan Society is a national nonprofit organization on a mission to help disempowered communities take back control of their health and environments through vegan living. Our work this year focuses on delivering a wide variety of education resources on topics including health, environmental issues, and food justice, specifically speaking to the experiences and issues of Black communities as they navigate the transition to vegan living. You may have heard terms like vegan, vegetarian, and plant-based tossed around in conversation, especially lately, and you may be wondering, what is veganism? So veganism is the practice of abstaining from the use of animal products, particularly in diet, and associated with a philosophy that rejects the commodity status of animals. So vegans avoid all animal foods such as meat, including fish, shellfish, and insects, dairy, eggs, and honey, as well as avoiding animal-derived materials, products tested on animals, and places that use animals for entertainment. So you might be wondering, what exactly is Afro-Veganism? And our executive director, Brenda, wrote an essay specifically on this topic, so I'm going to read an excerpt of that for you. So Afro-Veganism is a term that speaks to the experience of being a person of African descent living and interacting in the world as a vegan. It's built on perspectives that are specific to people with both a shared history of race-based oppression and the current experience of racial inequality. This lens provides Afro-Vegans with an innate understanding of the ways that oppressive systems operate. Many Afro-Vegans have come to view veganism as both a viable solution to some of the current challenges that face our communities, as well as a vehicle for resisting systems that are responsible for creating those challenges in the first place. So since people who are in marginalized communities are often overlooked by those doing vegan advocacy, people in these communities have little to no access to information that will help them make healthier, kinder, sustainable choices. And Afro-Vegan Society exists to make sure that this information is available to everyone. So over the past several weeks, the Dump Dairy Workshop series has featured talks from experts like Dr. Milton Mills, Dr. Ruby Lathan, and Brenda Sanders talking about just why dairy is so bad. And so let's go over some of the major points that have been covered in the talk so far. So dairy is not necessary for human health. During Dr. Mills' education session, he shared research highlighting how humans are not biologically designed to consume dairy and the milk of other species at all, especially cow's milk. He also outlined how the consumption of dairy products is linked to numerous chronic health conditions. So check out the week 1 education session to learn more about why dairy is detrimental to human health. During week 2 of the series, Dr. Ruby Lathan highlighted how there are so many myths concerning what are the nutritional benefits of milk, and she highlighted the plant-based sources that you can find to get nutrients that are commonly associated with drinking milk but are actually not really beneficial for humans. Last week, Brenda Sanders also did a talk highlighting just how cruel the dairy industry is. So her talk highlights the inhumane and dangerous treatment of cows and people within the dairy production system. And once you know the truth, you really will not want to consume milk anymore. So now you have all the facts about why consuming dairy is not good for your health or the environment or just at all. But you're wondering, what can I eat instead? And the answer is that there are so many things that you can eat. But if you're specifically looking for plant foods to replace the dairy in your life, we are going to go over all of that right now. So some of the plant foods that we can use to create dairy alternatives include almonds, oats, rice, cashews, tofu, soybeans. There are so many things that you can use to create vegan alternatives to dairy that are very nutritious and healing for your body as opposed to being detrimental to your health. So I'm going to go over several products that you can eat instead of dairy, and also some DIY recipes or hacks that you can use to create dairy products at home. But an ingredient that you definitely want to know about is nutritional yeast. So this is a yeast that is grown on things like blackstrap molasses and sugar beets. It's also grown on whey, so you want to make sure that you're getting 100% vegan nutritional yeast. But it provides a zesty, cheesy flavor, and so it's great to use in sour cream and cream cheese and vegan cheese recipes. It's really going to give you the flavor that you're looking for, and it's a great source of B vitamins as well as protein. So nutritional yeast, you're going to want to get some for yourself if you're planning to experiment with making dairy-free cheeses and other dairy alternatives at home. So let's talk about vegan milk alternatives first. There are so many vegan milk alternatives available in the marketplace right now. It has exploded over the last several years, and so depending on what your preference is, there's probably more than likely something that you're going to want to like to use in your cereal, in your baking, in your smoothies, in your coffee, whatever you're using, liquid milk in right now. You can easily swap it out for something dairy free. So there's so many products, but if you want to experiment with making vegan milks at home, the simple formula is to soak nuts like almonds, cashews, hemp seeds, flax seeds even, but also you could use oats, rice, or soybeans, but you soak those and then you blend them up with water. And that's the basic formula for making a plant-based milk. Now you can, adjust the flavor however you like. You can add in vanilla extract or cinnamon. I know people put in things like Irish moss or chia seeds into their milk just to give it more thickness and extra nutrients. So this is a super simple formula that you can make plant milk whenever you want, but like I said, more than likely you're going to be able to find a dairy-free milk option in your local grocery store or market. So one of the main things that people have trouble giving up when they are switching to veganism or they're on their last leg is cheese. Cheese is super addictive, it's delicious, it really just fires off different, hunger signals and satisfaction signals in our brain when we eat it. And so finding vegan cheese was really challenging for a while in terms of finding quality cheeses, but there are so many different vegan cheese products on the market now too. So you can find things like vegan nacho cheese, soft cheeses that are made from cashews. You can find sliced cheeses, shredded cheese. There's so many different types of vegan cheese, even like Parmesan cheese. You can find all of these products vegan. More than likely you might need to go to a specialty store to find a huge variety of those things, but most grocery stores that I've been to at the very least have some sort of vegan cheese slices or vegan cheese shreds option. But once again, if you're ready to experiment at home, my favorite personal cheese to make is vegan nacho cheese, and I like to make it using a combination of steamed carrots and potatoes that are blended up with spices like garlic, onion, sea salt, paprika, and a little bit of lemon juice for tang, and then of course nutritional yeast. So it's just a matter of steaming these ingredients and then blending them all together and then heating them back up, and you have an amazing cheese sauce that you can use on nachos, but you could also pour it over veggies or eat it with pasta. It's really, really good. So, vegan butter is something that has become a lot easier to find in the last 2 to 3 years. There weren't as many options before. The main one that you would be able to find in the store was Earth Balance. But now, a lot more mainstream brands that make dairy products are also making vegan butter options. So, I can't believe It's Not Butter has a vegan butter now. Country Crock has a vegan butter now. There are so many vegan butter options. My favorite personal vegan butter is Miyoko's, but once again, if you're ready to experiment at home, you can do that. So most vegan butter recipes that I find are very, very simple. So it's just a matter of blending together almond milk, olive oil, and coconut oil, and the coconut oil will become solid in the refrigerator, and so it gives you that, scrapable, spreadable property. And then to add the flavor, it's usually just salt, a little bit of apple cider vinegar for a bit of a fermented taste, and then of course a bit of nutritional yeast. So it's a very simple combination of things that you throw into your blender to emulsify and then chill in your refrigerator, and you've got vegan butter from products that you probably already have in the house. So yogurt is a product that's really versatile because it's great to use in breakfast dishes, like, in fruit and yogurt bowls. It's also really good to add to smoothies. And it is something that, when is plain, can be used in savory recipes as well to make creamy sauces, or even as a binder in baked dishes. So yogurt is something that's great to have in your arsenal, and there are plenty of vegan options now. Oftentimes they're made from coconut milk or almond milk or soy milk. Those are the main three ingredients that I see being used to make vegan yogurt. But if you want to do a little bit of experimentation at home, I've actually done this before and it works. So I use 1 can of full fat coconut milk and then 1 probiotic tablet. Make sure that it's vegan. You probably want a probiotic tablet that needs to be stored in the refrigerator, but you pour the probiotic tablet contents into the coconut milk, stir it up, and allow it to sit overnight on your counter, and then it ferments and you just store it in the refrigerator. So with time, a probiotic and coconut milk, you can make yogurt. So give that a try if you want to make your own at home. Just about everybody loves ice cream, and there is so much good vegan ice cream on the market right now. There are specialty brands like So Delicious that have been making vegan ice cream options for years, but more mainstream brands like Breyers and Ben and Jerry's are offering dairy-free options for vegan ice cream. So it's something that's becoming increasingly available, but it is still typically more expensive than its dairy counterpart. So the easiest way, and the first way that I actually started enjoying something like vegan ice cream, was by making nice cream at home. So nice cream is a blend of frozen bananas and plant milk. For me, it's usually almond milk, and you just blend a little bit of plant milk with sliced frozen bananas, and you get this really thick, almost soft serve consistency for your nice cream. And it's super delicious. You can blend in fruit, you can blend in chocolate or cocoa powder, or peanut butter, whatever you want. You can top it however you like, and it's great because you can customize it at home. And when you make your vegan ice cream or nice cream with fruit, it's really, really healthy. So it absolutely does not have any of that inflammatory stuff that dairy milk has going on, and you're actually getting a lot of nutrition from it. So consider using bananas, and your brown bananas that you're ready to throw away because they have just ripened too much are the perfect thing to use to create your nice cream. So vegan sour cream is probably one of my favorite things to use and make. I love to use it obviously on, like, Tex-Mex dishes and nachos and tacos and things like that. But like yogurt, it's also really good to bake with because it has a really thick and rich consistency that helps bind batters together. And it's also great to use to add into sauces that you're making because, once again, it provides a little bit of tang, but it provides a really thick and creamy texture. So if you want to make a creamy, savory sauce, it's a great ingredient. But the easiest way to make your own sour cream at home is to blend up water or plant milk with tofu and either lemon juice or a little bit of apple cider vinegar, a little bit of sea salt, and you can make your own sour cream at home. And usually you want to use like a medium or a silken tofu because it just blends up really, really smoothly. But yeah, you can make your own sour cream at home from tofu, which is soybean based, if you can't find vegan sour cream options in your grocery store. So we've talked a lot about how to find dairy-free products in the grocery store so far, alternatives to dairy, but the number one thing that you should be doing when you're shopping in order to eat dairy-free and enjoy a healthy plant-based lifestyle is to eat whole plants. So that's fruits, vegetables, leafy greens, grains, legumes, beans, nuts, and seeds. Honestly, you should really focus most of your energy on eating these healthy foods, focus most of your budget on eating these healthy foods because these are the ones that are going to sustain you, give you energy. They're just healthier. They don't have as many processed ingredients, and there's not as much, confusion to navigate when you're trying to grocery shop. So spend your time in your international section and your produce section, and you're going to be good to go. But when you venture outside of the produce section, you're going to need to know what you're doing when you're reading labels. So really paying attention to nutrition labels was a skill that I had to acquire when I went vegan, because you really have to interpret what is inside of this food to know if you are eating plant-based, whether you're trying to do so for ethical reasons, for health reasons, whether you have some sort of, personal issue like an allergy or lactose intolerance. You have to really get fluent with reading nutrition labels. Companies are required to list common allergens on nutrition labels. So that is going to help you be able to identify very quickly if there are animal products inside of a product that you're purchasing. Usually they're found at the bottom of the nutrition label, and they'll be in bold, and it will say contains milk, contains shellfish, contains eggs, contains peanuts, contains soy, contains wheat. It will be clearly defined for you. Now, I have seen some other labels, and this is probably more so on imported foods, where they won't necessarily break it out, but those ingredients will be bolded within the ingredients list so that you can easily identify if there's an allergen, and a lot of allergens that are listed are animal products. So be sure you look for the allergen listing, and that will help you kind of eliminate if there are any animal products in your purchase off the bat. So milk products and milk derived products are present in a lot of products in a lot of different forms. So here in this slide, I've included a listing of ingredients that either contain milk or are made from milk that you want to be wary of when you're reading your labels as well. So that includes things like casein and whey. Ghee, which is a product that many people aren't necessarily familiar with, is a clarified butter made from cow's milk. So you might not think that ghee is dairy, but it is. So there are so many listings of, like I said, different products that are either derived from milk or contain milk that you want to be aware of when you're shopping in the grocery store and looking at labels, just so you don't have any slip-ups. So we've already established that the most simple and nutritious way to eat dairy-free when you are shopping in the grocery store is to eat whole plant foods like fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, legumes, and beans. But if you're in the mood for snack time, or you want to eat some more convenience foods, there are plenty of products in the grocery store that are actually, as they call it, accidentally vegan. And what that means is they're not necessarily designed or marketed as a vegan product, but they just don't happen to contain any animal products in them. So you can indulge in them if you're in the mood for that. Some of my favorites are Oreos and sweet chili Doritos, but I'm going to take you through some other categories of foods that contain accidentally vegan products. Lots of cereals are naturally dairy-free, as well as baking mixes like Jell-O. You might assume that Jell-O, or excuse me, not Jell-O, but pudding. So we have Jell-O pudding listed. But you assume that pudding might have dairy in it, but it's actually in the preparation where it's added. Pudding is really just flavoring and cornstarch and sugar. So pudding mixes are vegan oftentimes. Baking mixes like Bisquick or pancake mix are often vegan, and even cake mixes by Duncan Hines are vegan. So the instructions might tell you to add butter or milk and eggs to the recipe, but you can swap that out with, applesauce or chia seeds or vegan butter or plant milk and create vegan cakes and brownies and things like that from these pre-made mixes, and they have no animal products in them. There are also lots of prepared foods that are accidentally vegan, like noodles and rices and seasoning mixes, so check those out. Another area that I assumed had animal products in it was baked goods. I always thought that breads and things had animal products in them, but most of them, or many of them rather, don't have milk and eggs or butter in them, but some of them do. And even sometimes in the same product line, you will find a product that has animal products and it's similar to another offering that does not have any. So it is important to not assume that something is vegan or dairy free and always check the label, but there are lots and lots and lots of baked goods out there that are actually accidentally vegan. So you have seen how you can make dairy-free products at home. You've seen how to identify dairy-free products in the grocery store, and maybe you're looking for some more inspiration in the kitchen. You should definitely check out the chefs that have been featured in the Dump Dairy Workshop series so far. We have Gabrielle Reyes, One Great Vegan, Danny McGee, Damn Good Vegan, and then the vegan mechanic Antonio Simpson. They all have really delicious vegan recipes that are going to help you on this journey to embrace vegan living and remove dairy from your diet completely. Another great source of vegan recipes is the Afro-Vegan Society website. We are constantly adding new recipes every month. I love developing new recipes, and I've created some delicious dairy-free recipes for my workshop, for the Dump Dairy Workshop series, where I use sweet potatoes to create chocolate custard, frozen fudge pops, and a chocolate cream pie. So that's just a few of the recipes that you can find on afrovegansociety.org/recipes. Finally, if you're looking for videos, cooking videos, you should visit the Afro-Vegan Society YouTube channel and subscribe, because we have cooking demos there. I recently shared a cooking demo for teriyaki fried rice, and there are going to be a lot more cooking demos coming up very soon. So you want to continue to tune in to that channel and subscribe so that you can get some delicious eating ideas that are flavorful, nutritious, and satisfying. Thank you so much for tuning in to this presentation today. I hope that it was helpful and you learned a bit about vegan living and how to be dairy free. And if you have any questions, feel free to submit them to me at afrovegansociety@gmail.com. I'll be happy to answer your questions. And also, if you have requests for recipes that you'd like added to the website, you can send those over to the email. Anything you need to know, we have got you covered. We really want to be a resource to you as you navigate this transition to vegan living, or if you're already vegan and you're just looking for inspiration and connection and community to support you on your vegan journey, we are here for you. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in to the final workshop of the Dump Dairy Workshop series. It's been a great program so far, and I hope that you tune in for other programming that we have coming up, including the National Afro-Vegan Virtual Conference that is happening for the first time online on July 25th, 2020. Wow. So be sure that you register for that event, and I will see you on the internet, online, and yes, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay blessed. Bye, everybody. Register for free today for the National Afro-Vegan Conference happening virtually on July 25th. Support Afro-Vegan Society's work by becoming a donor today.